Welcome everyone. Good morning. Today is going to be the very first class of alternative English, and for all the students who have chosen alternative English as their language options, I welcome all of you. First of all, let me tell you one thing very categorically and specifically right at the outset. Now, alternative English is again a language option available in the CHEC module of the Odisha State Government's prescribed +2 course. For the students, those of you who have opted for alternative English, let me tell this to you that it is very similar to the compulsory English course that which we are prescribed to study here at the 10+2 level. Having said so, what is different is in the alternative English part, language or style or the elegance of how a particular thing is written is stressed upon a bit more than it is with the compulsory English part. All right. So all you students, all you people who have chosen alternative English as your option, I would like to tell you that first of all, be very sure that you love English as a language, not as a subject. Because if you do not have a genuine flair for English, okay, if you do not like writing, if you do not like writing essays, if you do not like writing maybe poems and stuff like that, if you don't like reading poetry and stories and stuff like that, you will probably find yourself in a tricky situation. Okay. Having said so, let me tell this to you again, that it is very easy to score marks in alternative English, unlikely what the common conception is. Okay. I'll use a little bit of a Hindi for your understanding, for your better understanding. कि कुछ लोग हमको ये कहते हैं कि ऑल्टरनेटिव इंग्लिश में मार्क्स स्कोर करना बहुत ज़्यादा डिफिकल्ट है, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है. अगर आप ऑल्टरनेटिव इंग्लिश के कोर्स फ्रेमवर्क को देखें तो आपको ये पता चल जाता है कि वहाँ पर स्ट्रक्चरल इंग्लिश या ग्रामर को लेकर के जो चीज़ें हैं वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा सिंपल हैं, और ख़ास करके सिंपल इसलिए हैं क्योंकि इट हैज़ और it consists of a lot of marks, okay, or weightage of marks considering the 100 marks, that is the totality of the paper. And second, वहाँ पर आपको आंसर्स में ऑप्शंस भी मिलते हैं ब्रैकेट में, जहाँ से आपको चूज करने होते हैं, जिसको हम लोग क्वेश्चन जब बनाते हैं उसको कहते हैं डू एज डायरेक्टेड. उसके साथ ही साथ यू विल हैव टू डिज़ाइन पैम्फलेट्स, you will have to design brochures, very easy stuff, very simple stuff. If you are edited enough, if you write it point wise, and if your language is true, then you fetch marks very easily. Correct? और रही बात पोएट्री की, प्रोज की, वन एक्ट प्ले की, all of you have done it at the school level. There is nothing new. The only thing that matters is you must be structurally and grammatically correct. ठीक है. So let us begin the first chapter. Again, okay, lest I should forget, let me tell this to you. I am not sure how many of you have chosen alternative English, but it's a request from my side. It is an earnest request. Those of you who have chosen alternative English, I urge you all to please give me a call. I wish to speak to you over the phone because we are unable to meet each other here at the college. So please give me a call individually. You all have my phone numbers in the WhatsApp groups of your individual sections. Do give me a call. Let's have a chat. Let us try to understand as to why you have chosen alternative English as one of your optional languages, and then we shall take it from there and move forward. ठीक है? So let's begin with the very first chapter. It is going to be a poem from Approaches to English Book 2. You've got two books, Approaches to English Book 1 and Approaches to English Book 2. So we shall be starting the first chapter, which is a poem or a poetry piece from Approaches to English Book 2. And the name of the chapter is Ecology. Ecology, the word ecology, all of you know, it is the way or the manner in which man is associated to nature, to birds and animals and flora and fauna, plants, trees, soil, weather and stuff like that. That's called as ecology, correct? So there is a pre-reading activity. The poet is Mr. A.K. Ramanujan. We will have a short introduction of the poet as well. Before that, the pre-reading activity. The poem you will read presently has the title Ecology. What does ecology mean? We have already answered that. If you aren't sure of its meaning, look it up in the glossary following the text of the poem and write its meaning here. So you've got a glossary at the end of the poem, wherein there are certain words which might need better explanation with regards to their meanings, and it is present there. If you find it difficult, please find out the meanings from the glossary, note it down, try to remember them. Having said so, I would also try to give you meanings of words which I feel would be new to you in the course of our reading. All right. Can you now guess what the poem would aim to tell the reader? Of course, it is going to be about nature, since it's talking about ecology. Write your guess here. Okay, so that's for you guys to do. Now read the poem and find out what it is about. Before we read the poem, let's go ahead and read a little bit or have a little bit of an insight about the poet. Notes on the poet. A.K. Ramanujan was born 1929. He passed away in the year 1996. Permits his poetry to spring out of deep inner compulsions. Fear, despair, and the need for familial warmth are some of the themes of his poetry. His major verse collections are The Striders, written 1966, Relations, 1971, Selected Poems, 1976, and Second Sight, 1986. The poem Ecology expresses the contrasting attitudes of mother and the children towards nature. It highlights the mother's determination to preserve the champak trees even though they are the cause of her suffering. So here we get a very brief introduction about the poet A.K. Ramanujan. Before we begin, I always say this to the class wherever I take an English class. Okay, be it compulsory English or alternative English or communicative English. When you read a poem, okay, there are three things that you need to keep in mind. Number one, the theme of the poem, what it talks about. You know, किसके बारे में कविता किसके बारे में हमको बता रही है, ये जानना बहुत ही ज़रूरी है. Second, you need to understand the structure of a poem or the design of a poem. How is a poem designed? Okay, there are various ways in which a person can compose a poem or write a poem, okay, but then there are certain aspects of the poem which actually define how the poem is going to be, not what the poem is going to be. Okay, for example, there are literary terms and figures of speech which we use while we write a poem, and to give you a few examples, alliteration, okay, euphony, these are certain terms which we use, or rhymes. These are certain terms or literary terms that are used, or literary tools that are used when a poem is written. So what it does is, what these literary terms do or these figures of speech do is they render style, they render elan, they render simplicity, they render deep meaning, they render intuitiveness to the poem. Okay. The third most important thing, we have discussed about the theme, we have discussed about the structure. What we need to discuss about last but not the least, and the most important thing, is the feel of the poem. Okay. Now, all of you, sometime or the other, must be listening to music. Okay. Now, music is something which soothes our soul, which, I don't know, which brings about a lot of emotions and sentiments. And that is exactly what we are talking about here when we are talking about the feel of a poem. Okay, every song is a poem, but every poem is not necessarily a song. Please try and understand the meaning of this sentence. Every song is a poem, but every poem is not necessarily a song. What do we mean by that? For example, you pick any song. Let's say, I don't know, आजकल के कोई भी एक गाने को आप उठा लीजिए. I have not been listening to new songs of late, so let us say there is this poem. It's an old song called "Aane Wala Pal" from Golmaal, right? So when you listen to the song "Aane Wala Pal Jaane Wala Hai, ho sake to isme zindagi bita lo," so stuff like that. Okay, so when you listen to this song, there is a particular emotion, or it emotes certain feelings inside the person who is listening to it. So this song was first written by someone as a poem, or the person is called as a lyricist. Okay, so the person writes the lyrics of this song, which is actually a poem, and then there are music directors who provide music to this song. They decide how this song is going to be played, how is it going to be sung by a particular playback singer and stuff like that. And then it goes to the recording studio, the playback singer or singers, they come there, they sing the song, they perform it, and then ultimately it gets produced, and then it finds place in a movie or a drama or something like that, and then we listen to it, we watch it and do stuff with it. Okay, but a poem, okay, is not necessarily a song. That means कुछ हर एक गाना जो हम सुनते हैं वो पहले एक कविता होती है, लेकिन हर एक कविता जो हम पढ़ते हैं ज़रूरी नहीं कि वो एक गाना बन जाए. समझ में आई बात? Because not all poems are rendered music. Not all poems are entitled to be used as songs either in plays or in dramas or in movies or in performance arts. So that is the reason there is a difference between the two, the poem and the song. So here we are talking about a poem here, and the title of the poem is Ecology. Obviously it talks about the relationship of man with his or her surrounding or nature. Okay, और यहाँ पर हम लोग अभी let's begin the text of the poem. The day after the first rain for years I would come home in a rage, for I could see from a mile away our 3 red champak trees had done it again, had burst into flower and given mother her first blinding migraine of the season. With their street-long, heavy-hung yellow pollen fog of a fragrance no wind could sift, no door could shut out from our black-pillared house, whose walls and ears and eyes, scales, smells, bone creaks, nightly visiting voices, and were porous like us. But mother, flashing her temper like a mother's twisted silver, grandchildren's knickers, which as the coal pack on her head, would not let us cut down a flowering tree, almost as old as her, seeded, she said, by a passing bird's providential droppings, to give her gods and her daughters and daughters' daughters basketfuls of annual flour, and for one line of cousins a dower of migraines in season. This is the entirety of the poem. Okay, now we will try and understand the poem passage by passage. Okay, we'll do 1, 2, 3. We'll do 3 passages today from this poem. We'll try and understand what these passages talk about, and then we will move forward in our next classes. Fair enough? So the first stanza, you would notice that this poem has many stanzas, or probably it is printed in such a way here in this book. Almost all the stanzas, there are 11 stanzas in this poem here in the book, and 10 of those 11 stanzas consists of 3 lines each. The last stanza, the 11th stanza, consists of 2 lines only. Okay, here I'm talking about the structure. If at all we find rhyme or a rhyming pattern, we will talk about it. Okay, now the first one. The day after the first rain for years I would come home in a rage. Every time you come across a poem which begins in the first person, or it starts by this particular alphabet or word I, okay, the narration is done in the first person. That means the poet is, or the poetess is talking about his or her own life, or an episode of her or his own life. And here itself, the day after the first rain for years I would come home in a rage. So the poet here, A.K. Ramanujan, is talking about his own life, and probably about his life many years back from now, so in the past. Correct? You need to keep that in mind. Have this time structure in your head while you read a poem. Okay, so what does the poet say? The poet says, the day after the first rain for years I would come home in a rage. It's almost like the poet is actually not trying to write a poem, rather he's trying to write an essay. The only thing is he has modified it in a poetic fashion. So what does he say? The day after the first rain for years, I would come home in a rage. The day after the first rains, माने सालों तक बरसात के महीने की पहली बारिश के बाद मैं घर को गुस्से के साथ आता था. रेज, एंगर, राइट? रेज, anger, correct? An abstract noun. So the poet says that after the very first day of the rain, during the rainy season, I would come home angrily, or I would come home in a rage, in anger. So definitely his anger has a reason. But why does the poet get angry, okay, or worked up when it rains, especially the first rains? Let's try and find out. The second stanza. For I could see from a mile away, out our three red champak trees had done it again. For I could see from a mile away, our three red champak trees had done it again. So done what? Correct? Now obviously, all of us know that it is the rainy season which actually brings life or gives new life to all kinds of life forms in and around us, correct? Especially the plants. So when you look around yourself into nature, you see everything is green in the month of the monsoons or the rains. So obviously there are these three champak trees, okay, which are present probably near the household or near the home of the poet. And when he comes home after the very first rain during the rainy season, he is able to see from a distance that the champak trees, the three red champak trees, he is very specific, okay, have done it again. What have they done? Obviously the answer is they have started to blossom, or they have started to have new flowers, okay. So it must be a reason. First of all, one is bound to think flowering of a tree generally must be a reason to be happy, you know, to be elated, or to celebrate, to rejoice. But here there is someone who is Mr. Ramanujan. He is a poet and he is probably a kid or probably a teenager or an adolescent who is coming home in a fit of rage, of anger. Why? We shall find out. The third stanza. Had burst into flower and given mother her first blinding migraine of the season. There you go. We've got the reason. So what have these three red champak trees done? They have blossomed into flower. The first red flowers of the season have come to the tree, the champak tree. And what has it done? Because of the champak flowers' strong aroma, strong smell, strong scent, his mother, the poet's mother, has got a blinding migraine, okay? I do not know whether you are akin to what a migraine is. God bless, let you never be akin to what a migraine is. A migraine is a very stinging, or it's a very stabbing pain in the head and in the sinus area, okay, in this area, which is caused due to various other factors. Either a person is allergic to cold, or a person is allergic to wet and humid weather, or a person is allergic to dust and sand particles and smog and smoke and stuff like that. So his mother, A.K. Ramanujan, the poet's mother, is allergic to the champak flowers fragrance, aroma or scent, correct? And hence what happens is, on the very first occasion or on the very first instance of the rains pouring down, the three red champak trees that are present in the household or near the house or home of the poet, they have started to blossom with red flowers. And because of those red flowers, the aroma that the wind brings along, into the house has caused a very stinging or a blinding, blinding. When it's a severe headache, a person seems to lose his or her eyesight. And hence, the poet's mother is suffering from a migraine. And that is precisely the reason why the poet chooses to mention right at the outset of the poem that I used to come home in a rage for years after the very first downpour of the rainy season. Okay, these are the first 3 stanzas of the poem Ecology. We shall pause temporarily today here, go through the first 3 stanzas, actually do go through the entire poem, and like I told you, try to find out the meanings. There are certain meanings of a few words given in the glossary, and if you find any other difficult words, please, you are free to ask me. Give me a call, give me a text, give me a message. I would reply to you. And all of you who have chosen alternative English as one of your optional language subjects, do give me a call. Let's have a chat, a very friendly, informal, casual kind of a chat, so that I get to know what exactly it is that enticed you to choose alternative English, and then we'll take it from there. All right. I hope all of you are doing well. Stay blessed, stay safe, take care of yourselves, do your classes sincerely, and what else? See you in the next class. God bless. Thank you.